Hello everyone and welcome to Downtime Reviews. Today we're going to be looking into whether Divinity Original Sin 2 is still worth it quite a while after its release date. Now before we jump into this review, I just want it to be known that with this being the first upload here, I'm trying as hard as I can to deviate from tropes of other reviews. I'm not going to review a game and then say, oh, try and get it on sale, because, well, you should always try and get games on sale. Having more money is good. But with that said, let's get on with the review. Now, in my opinion, Divinity Original Sin 2 is one of the best RPGs to come out in a long time. It plays really well, the story is interesting, the combat is challenging but fair, the characters are quirky, unique and fun to interact with, the character building is absolutely sublime, the side quests are aplenty and still manage to stay interesting despite how many there are. But with all of that praise said, Divinity Original Sin 2 is still not quite perfect.
No sooner have these words left your mouth than she turns about and grabs you in a stranglehold.
Now, before all the fans of the game start to sharpen their pitchforks and start burning effigies of me in the streets, I just want it to be known that I think that Divinity Original Sin 2 is an absolutely amazing game. I think there are still one or two issues here or there. For example, the pathing and targeting can sometimes be a little bit fiddly, but that can be forgiven because there's a lot of movement abilities and it's barely an annoyance when it happens. One of my other gripes that I have is the fact that the character visual customization can seem a little bit bland, I suppose the word would be. There isn't much room to fiddle about with like the smaller details of a character, like there's face presets, hair presets and all that kind of stuff. I would like to have maybe like a little bit more there as far as that goes. But with that said, not many games let you play as an undead and have it be so interesting. One of my favourite things about this game's replayability, which I've done a few times now, is that full-blown conversations just get completely changed depending upon what kind of character you are, what tags you've picked, whether you're an undead or not, whether you're an elf, a dwarf, a lizard, a noble, all that kind of stuff. And I know that changing dialogue isn't exactly the most revolutionary thing on the planet, but it just makes the game so that much more interesting to have full-blown conversations changed by this as opposed to just other games moving around a couple of words per dialogue exchange. Another thing I feel that's worth mentioning about this game is the unique elemental aspect to combat, where you can use the different environments to your advantage. Being an undead makes it so that you get healed by poisons, and obviously if you were playing as an undead fighting against non-undeads, then putting poison all over the ground is going to make them a lot worse off and you a lot better off. So it's worth mentioning that with the strategic combat comes a lot of different ways of gaining advantage over your enemies, be that high ground, using the elements to your advantage, using elemental arrows, keeping like a massive barrel in your inventory or something like that just to throw it out randomly and see if it makes things worse, better. I really like that feature about this game, the unique ability to just throw stuff out there that gives you an advantage. I'm going to keep this one short and sweet and get right to answering my own question. Do I think Divinity Original Sin 2 is worth it? If you're a fan of tabletop games, good stories, tactical challenging combat, and an enriching multiplayer and solo experience, because I've completely forgotten to mention this game is also multiplayer, then yes, Divinity Original Sin 2 is 110% a game you should try out. If you however love Ubisoft games and buy FIFA every year, then it's probably not your cup of tea, but I do have another suggestion for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps out a lot. And if you would like to comment what game I should review next or just play next, because I'm going to be streaming under this name as well, then that will also be fantastic. Thank you very much for your time and see you all soon.